Good morning, students. Today, uh, I will start your new course uh, of your fourth semester. I will teach you comparative political analysis. And today, I will discuss with you the political system. What is the functional understanding of political system specifically? And what is the Marxist approach to the political system? In fact, that is there in the second bit of the first unit. Right. So political system, it means the system of political, the system of political. And we understand political in different senses. There are different ways of understanding the political. But here in comparative politics, political means it is more a process than institution. So here political means political process. So political system means it is a system of political process. So it is more a process than an institution. Now you will ask, sir, what is executive, judiciary, legislature? Are these are these not political? The answer is certainly yes, it is political. But political, the understanding, the meaning of political is not limited to the institution. It is all about the role of that institution, the performance of that institution. So, political in comparative political or in comparative politics, political means it is a process. So, it is a process of understanding the role of the environment, environmental factors in forms of inputs and its impact on the output agency of the political organization. So political process not only include the action and inaction of different political institutions, but also it includes various environmental factors. Various environmental factors you can find different kinds of institution and their impact on the political institution. There are different variety kinds of institutions are there in the environment. Here environment basically means a larger society, a human society, right? So in the society you can find different kinds of institutions, and all these institutions, they are mutually dependent on one another, and one institution has impact over the other, right? So political process, it is not something that is within the political system. No, it also includes the non-political institution and their impact over the political institution, right? How the inputs is supplied to the political system. The inputs is supplied by the environment, and what is the impact of output. Now once input is processed in political system, the political system will produce a output. That output is in the form of decision, policies, etc. So political process also concerns that how that output impact the environment. So how the input is generated in the environment and how the output affects the environment. This is also part of the political process. So, political process means it means functions within the political system and functions outside the political system. This is political process, right? So political scientists have searched for abstract process and functions which are performed by some structures in all countries, same structures in all countries. Now, political scientists in comparative politics means political scientists are comparing the political system of different countries, and they have found that there are similar functions, and these similar functions are performed by the same structure in all countries. Every country requires a law-making body, a law implementing body, a law adjudicating body. Every country requires inputs, requires environment, depends on output. So political scientists, by comparing different governments of different countries, they found certain abstract process and functions, and the idea behind is that why they compare different political system of different countries. The idea behind it is that the study of a particular country of a particular kind of structures and processes can be related to a broader conceptual scheme with the hope that the work done in one realm will be compatible with the work done in the another realm to the extent that similar definitions are employed, similar concepts are given. Political scientists, they compared political system of different countries in order to develop definitions of political system, in order to develop the concept of political system, so that research in one political system that may help the subsequent researcher who is doing research on another political system. And at the last, all the research will develop a broader conceptual scheme of political system. So that's why political scientists in comparative politics, they compared the political process, political structures of different countries. Now to Almond and Powell, how they have understood political system. Now to them, political system means it includes all the interactions. The political system includes not only the governmental institution, but all structures in their political aspects, right? So political system means governmental institution. At the same time, the non-governmental institution which affects the government, right? Now political system is that system of interaction. I think Almond and Powell, while defining political system, they said that political system means interaction. Now, how to understand that interaction? Now, political system is that system of interaction which is found in all independent societies, which performs the function of integration and adoption by means of employment or threat of employment of more or less legitimate order maintaining or transforming the system in the society. Right? So it is the interaction between whom? It is the interaction between the environment and political system. Right? So political system is interaction between environment and political. I mean, it is political system means it is an interaction between environment and itself, right? And this interaction is necessary to perform certain functions in the society. That interaction is necessary to perform certain functions in the society. And what are those functions? Now, these functions are functions of integration and function of adaptation, right? Function of integration and function of adaptation. And these functions are done by means of employment, by means of order maintaining and transforming the system in the society, right? So subsequently we will understand what is the function of integration and what is the function of adaptation. Adaptation, right? So in a society, society exists only when there is function of integration and function of adaptation done by the political system through employment, through order maintaining, and through transforming this system. Okay. To Almond, a political system has three main properties: properties of comprehensiveness, properties of interdependence, and properties of boundaries. And it has five essential characteristics. These five essential characteristics are universality of political system, universality of political structure, universality of political function, multifunctionality of political structure, then culturally mixed character of political system. These are the five characteristic features of political system according to Almond. Right. So let me take 1 minute break, then I'm coming back. Welcome back. As I said, there are three main properties of political system, properties of comprehensiveness. Now, what is comprehensiveness? Political system includes all the interaction from formal institution to informal institution. So political system is not a phenomena of formal institution. Political system, it is a phenomena of formal institution as well as informal institution, because informal institution has a political impact over the formal institution. So this is the properties of comprehensiveness. And what is the properties of interdependence? It means change in a change of one subset of interaction produces change in other subset, interdependence. So political system means there are many subsets within the formal institution, they are interdependent. There are many subsets outside the political system, and all these are connected. So whether it is political system, economic system, social system, all are interconnected with each other. Any changes in economic aspect will produce changes in the political aspect. Any changes in cultural aspect, it will produce consequences in political aspect. So change in one aspect will produce change in the other aspect. So this is the properties of interdependence. Now what is properties of boundaries? Now there are certain point where the political system end and other system begins. Now it is very difficult to locate what is the boundary of a political system. It is very difficult, but it is not impossible. Some point you have to fix that this is the end of the political system. This is where the politics ends, the society begins. This is where the society ends, economic begins, right? So every system, including political system, has its own boundary. Now coming to the five essential characteristics of political system. The first characteristic is universality of a political system. Right? It means all political system has a political structure. Without political structure, you cannot imagine a political system. And they have a legitimate pattern of interaction. There are certain formal rules, regulation, pattern of behavior, and all these rules and regulations are there in order to maintain the interaction within the political structure. And these legitimate pattern of interaction, it maintains the internal and external order of the political system. So this is what the universality of political system. You see any political system, you will find that every political system has a political structure. There is a legitimate pattern of interaction, and this legitimate pattern of interaction, in other words, what I call rules, regulation. Every political system has its own rules and regulation, and these rules and regulation, it maintains the internal and external order of the political system. The second characteristic is universality of a political structure. Right. All political system have same structure that perform same function with varying degree of frequency. The articulative and aggressive, what is it called? Articulation, aggregation. The articulation, the aggregation, and the communicative functions may be performed diffusely within the society. Let me take 1 minute to understand it. Okay, it means in every political system you will find the same structure that performs the same function. You will find the articulative function, the aggressive aggregation, function of articulation, function of aggregation, function of communication. These functions in every political system you will find it is performed by a same structure, right? But it depends. I mean, it varies in terms of degree of frequency. That means the articulative function of Indian political system may be different from American political system in terms of frequency, but these functions in every political system is performed by the same structure. So this is what the universality of political structure. Then third is the universality of a political function. Now political system is not structure bound, rather it is function bound, right? Functionalism means a structure exists because of its function. When that structure stops functioning, that structure will disappear. So when we talk political system, it more means a function than a structure. So political system is not structure bound, it is function bound. The study of political systems should not be confined to the superficial study of legislature, executive, and judicial department of the political system. Rather, it should take into account the role of factors of initiation, communication, authorization, modification, representation, advocacy, interpretation, and the like in the study of non-state institution, and the like in the study of non-state institution. So political system means it is not the superficial study of institution, rather it is the study of role of initiation, role of communication, role of authorization, role of modification, role of representation, role of advocacy, role of interpretation, and the study of non-state institution. the functional. A student of comparative politics must look into sevenfold classification in the input and output categories, right? So if political system is all about, it is a function bound phenomena, then the student of political system must study the input and output process. In input process, what the student will study? In the input process, the student will study, a student has to study political socialization and recruitment, interest, interest articulation, interest aggregation, political communication. And in output, the student must study the rule making process, rule application process, and rule adjudication process. So it is not the superficial study of different institution of the government. So coming to the fourth characteristic of a political system given by Alman is the multifunctionality of a political structure. Multifunctionality of political structure. All political structures are multifunctional, right? Almond is critical over overstressed functional specificity of the political structure. In modern period, we understand political system in terms of structural differentiation and functional specialization. Almond, he was not happy with the modern notion. For him, political structure must be multifunctional, right? And he is saying that what is peculiar to the modern political system is that on one hand, political system is characterized by high degree of structural differentiation. On the other hand, it does not eliminate traditionality, right? So Almond is critical. Why? It is because the modernity has lied. And what is the lie of modernity? That political system, according to modern perspective, it is based on structural differentiation and functional specialization. Now Almond is saying, on one hand, the modern political system talks about structural differentiation and functional specialization, but on the other hand, modern political system is not antithetical to tradition, because ultimately political system has to serve to the people, and people, they live in their cultural community, in their tradition, values, ethics, culture. So if the political system will become antithetical to all those primordial identity or primordial institution of individual, then individual may not have obedience to the political system. Hence, political system is not antithetical to traditionality. Now, this is something peculiar to, I mean, he's saying that modern political institution, on one hand, it claims the structural differentiation and functional specialization, but in action, it cannot maintain it. Hence, Almond is saying that political structure must be multifunctional. It should not claim that it is based on one idea. It should not be fixed. It should be flexible. It will see the context, and in different context it can change its own position. Then the fifth characteristic of a political system is the culturally mixed character of political system. Now, in cultural sense, all political systems are mixed. All political systems have formal and informal structure. No political system is quite modern or tradition. Characters of modernity is there with the traditional political system and vice versa. So it means political system means both formal interaction and informal interaction. Political system means the existence of the character of modernity and the character of traditionality, right? So Almond is saying there is modernity in traditional political system and there is traditionality in the modern political system. Hence, political system is is mixed in character. It's culturally mixed in character, right? So these are the five essential characteristic of political system given by Almond, right? So let me take 2 minutes break, then I'm coming back. Welcome back. So among these five characteristics of political system, the third characteristic, that is universality of political function, this is the most powerful characteristic of political system, right? So political system means functions, right? And this functional aspect of the political system, I mean, this has been, or the models, there are different models given by different political scientists on the functional aspect of the political system, right? Models given by the David Easton, models given by Mitchell's, model given by Almond, model given by Bondel, model given by the Apter, right? So five political scientists, they have given five different models to understand the functional aspect of the political system. So let's start with Easton, right? Now to David Easton, every system is located in environment. Try to understand briefly what is the model of David Easton to understand the functional aspect of the political system. Now to start, every system is located in the environment. Every system has its own boundary, including political system. In environment, you can find different systems, and political system is one system. There is close relationship between the system and environment. Right? So, what is the environment of the political system? The non-political systems is the environment for political system. What is the environment for the economic system? The non-economic systems are the environment for economic system. Likewise, you can understand. So there is close relationship between system and environment. Here we talk about political system. So there is a close relation between the political system and non-political systems, plural. Right. And there are two components of political system, that is inputs component and output component. Here input means demands and support, and output means basically decision, policies, plan, programs. And these input component, it is provided by the environment, and output is generated by the political structure for the environment. Now from the output, it is the environment, again it has to give feedback to the political system, so that political system will re-evaluate the output, and they may update the output by effectively and efficiently using those feedbacks given by the environment. So feedback is very important for Eastern to understand the functional aspect of the political system. Now this support is derived from the satisfaction of the output of the system. As I said, inputs means demands of the system, and support to this system, because political system requires support. If political system will not be supported, if demands will be put into the political system, then political system may not work. Now, why the environment will support the political system? Why the non-political system will support the political system? It is because they are happy with the output of political system. If political system produces appropriate outputs, and these appropriate outputs will produce support to the political system. There are external demands coming from the environment, and internal demand coming from within the system. Right. Now, when we understand demands, now demands are very necessary for political system to generate the output. A political system exists only when it locates the demands, only when it understands the demands and produce the desired output. Certain demands are from the non-political systems. Certain demands are from the environment, and these demands are called the external demands, because these demands are external to the political system. I mean, they are not within the political system, they are just outside the political system. So some demands are external in the sense that these demands are from the environment, Specifically, these demands are from the non-political system. And there are some demands that is called internal demand, and these demands, it comes from within the system, right? There are demands from the political system itself. There are demands outside the political system. The environment in which a political system operates may be divided into two parts: intra-societal and extra-societal. The environment in which political system operates may be divided into two parts: intra-societal and extra-societal. What is intra-societal? Intra-societal means it consisting of system in a given society. For example, a set of behavior, attitude, ideas in the context of economy, culture, social structure, and personalities. And extra societal means all those systems that lies outside the given society. That is the functional components of an international society or a super system of which a single society is a part. So when we talk about environment, suppose let's take the example of Indian political system. Now in Indian political system, the environment in which the Indian political system operates, that environment can be divided into two categories. The first category is the intra-societal. That means the Indian society. The Indian society, the people, their behavior, their attitude, their ideas in the context of economy, culture, social structure, and personalities. Now they constitute the intra-societal part. And there is a extra societal. That means outside the society you can find some pan-Indians, right? Indians, those who are staying outside the India, right? They are the extra societal, right? Or you can find uh, the environment. For example, if some wrong things political system committed, now you will find the agitation within the Indian society, and you will find agitation outside the Indian society. Outside, I mean, at the international society, at the level of international society, you can find the agitation as well. Why? If there is any human right violation, for example, movements within India, movement outside India, at the international level, movement will happen. Why these movements will happen? It is because violation, human right violation to any individual in any country will be treated as a attack towards humanity. Hence, human beings in other system, they are critical about the human right violation, and that's why they are agitating. So here, environment of a political system, it is not only the Indian society. Here the environment of Indian political system, it goes beyond the Indian society, it goes to the extent of international society. Right. Now it is from the environment. Now the environment of political system, it is very large. It is very large. It includes the elements of intra-society and elements of extra-society. I mean, intra-societal, there is an intra-societal component of environment and extra-societal component of environment. Within the society, outside the society. So this environment of a political system, it is by and large. Now it is from the environment political system gets stress. Now once the environment is huge, Now political system is under the stress, right? How the political system will deal with the aspiration, needs, requirements of the environment, how it will deal with the demands of the environment. Now, in order to deal with the stress, Eastern represents or Eastern presents is input-output model. So, how the political system will deal with this stress, how it will deal with various demands, right? So as I said, input means all demands and supports through which wide range of activities in the environment can be channelized, mirrored and summarized. They are the key indicators through which environmental influences and conditions modify and shape the operation of a political system. So here Easton is defining now what is, Easton is saying through input and output model, the stress which comes from the environment, a political system will manage to handle it. Now, what is input for Eastern? Now, for Eastern, input means demands and supports through which wide range of activities in the environment can be channelized, mirrored and summarized. So, in the environment, one can find wide range of activities: political, economic, social, cultural. There are wide range of activities, and through input, if the political system will understand the input, then the political system has to summarize all these activities. The political system has to get a sense the requirement of the environment. And how the political system will get a sense of requirement? By summarizing the various activities of the environment, right? They are the key indicators through which environmental influences, conditions modify and shape the operation of a political system. Now, once the political system understands the inputs, then it helps the political system to generate the outputs. And these outputs, if it is satisfactory, this output will produce support to the political system by the environment. Now, outputs are decision of the authority, and these decisions are authoritative as they are taken by men of power. Now, in between input and output, there is a feedback loop, which is a response by the members of the society to those authoritative decisions and policies, right? Now, in the output basically means decision, policies, programs, activities. Now, these output may produce feedback, and this feedback is very important for the political system. Now, if the feedback is satisfactory, then the political system will get this support from the environment. If the feedback is not satisfactory, then the political system will rethink on its output, and it can make changes in the output. So the why the political system will do changes in the output? Primarily to get the support from the environment, right? The authoritative decision and policies, it will be changed by the authority. Now, feedback is very crucial in determining the capacity of a system to cope with this stress. So in Eastern model, freedom is very important. Sorry, in Eastern model, not freedom, feedback is very important. I'm sorry. Feedback is very important. It is in fact the feedback which determine the capacity of a system to cope with the stress. If the political system gets right feedback, then the political system can convert the stress of environment into the support of environment. Environment will not pressurize the political system, rather environment will support the political system. Now let me show you the diagram. This is the diagram you can see. Now this diagram will show you the Eastern model, right? So this diagram is a Eastern model of political system or Eastern model of understanding the functional aspect of the political system, how a system or how the political system functions. So in the next class, we will briefly go through the Almond's system or Almond's model of political system functional, or Almond model of understanding the functional aspect of the political system. Then we will go through Mitchell's model. Then we will go through after bundle model, then after model of political system. So I'm stopping here. I will continue in the next class. So thank you very much.